Hey guys, 2 videos in 1 day. I'm bored, so I'm gonna do my next video right now. And like I just said in my Punisher review, I will be discussing uh, Rowan Atkinson movies, 4 in particular actually, 2 franchises. We're going to discuss the Mr. Bean movie franchise, and we will be discussing the Johnny English movie franchise. I know, Rowan Atkinson was in other movies like obviously The Lion King, Analyze This, blanking on other ones. I'm sure there's a bunch I'm just not thinking of because I'm on the spot, but those 2 franchises, the Bean and Johnny English ones, are really, well, those are my two favorite ones. Okay, so like I said in my Punisher review, this is a was it really that bad episode thing with Jigger. Yeah, so again, these both of these franchises. Actually, before I begin, guys, let me just. Hey. Okay, so both of these franchises weren't met with rave reviews. Not to mistake the Mr. Bean TV series that was on in like the early '90s. Everybody loves those. It's one of my favorite shows of all time, actually. It's fucking hilarious, and I am waiting for my goddamn Blu-ray set. Please come out. God, make that happen. Literally, God, make that happen, please. Because obviously BBC's not doing anything about it. Anyway, so in okay, so firstly I'm going to talk about the Mr. Bean franchise. Um, I didn't grow up with Mr. Bean. I saw it as a kid. It was on PBS. My babysitter used to watch it, so I used to watch it sometimes when I was like really, really young. So yeah, I knew of it. I wasn't like a huge, like crazy fan. I just knew of it as a kid. And then I heard Mr. Bean movie was coming out in '97, and I didn't go see it in theaters. I saw it on VHS when it came out, and yeah, I saw it. I liked it, but it's 2015. It came out in '97, so how does it fare now in modern day audience viewing thing? I love it. I love it. And the thing that you're probably going to hear me say a lot during this video is the words Rowan Atkinson made this good. Because that is what Bean the movie, that is why Bean the movie was awesome. Rowan Atkinson, in my opinion, is the greatest. I cannot talk today. My Punisher one and this one, I need a break after doing 5 videos. Anyway, I think Rowan Atkinson is the greatest comedian of all time. Literally everything he does, I crack up at. Even if the project isn't even that good, I crack up at it because of Rowan Atkinson. Like Blackadder, even though Blackadder's awesome, he made that show awesome. Really, it really showed us. I think Blackadder was the first thing, like the first like really big project he was in. And yeah, it showed us who he was and what his comedy is like. And then he did Mr. Bean, and Mr. Bean's my favorite Rowan Atkinson project. I love Mr. Bean. I think Mr. Bean is so fucking clever and hilarious. Like, I can literally watch episodes the entire day for 24 hours straight, even though it only had a short span, and I think there's like only 11 episodes or something. But having said that, I'm getting way sidetracked. The movie. I like the movie. I think it's a great movie, but that is because of Rowan Atkinson. He makes the movie happen because of his portrayal as Mr. Bean. The things he does in the movie as Mr. Bean is funny. Like, when he's at the airport, it's kind of in bad taste now a little bit, but when he's at the airport, and he sees the cops, and then he sees guns, which I actually thought was funny because cops in England in the UK, I think, don't carry firearms. So when he sees a cop with a gun, it kind of like startles him. So when he sees a cop with a gun, he actually starts like playing along. He like reaches into his coat like this, as if he's about to pull out a gun. And obviously that's not a good thing to do on in an airport. So hilarity ensues. There's a big chase. He even gets arrested, and I think it is absolutely hilarious. I think that's fucking hilarious. And again, it's because of how Rowan Atkinson plays it. He knows how to play this character. If it was anybody else, it probably wouldn't have been as funny. Like there's this, I don't know. Have the one thing about Mr. Bean that I never knew, or I don't know actually, is whether his stuff is improvised or not. Because it really seems like it is sometimes. Because it's so clever. Like there's one line where the cop yells, "Everybody get on the floor," and Mr. Bean actually gets on the floor, and he honestly thinks that he was supposed to get on the floor. He's not trying to be like a wise ass or something. That's funny. So yeah, that airport scene was funny. When he went to the amusement park and he tinkered with the controls for the ride and made it go fucking crazy, so everybody's falling out. That is funny. Although I shit my pants when I saw that for the first time because I did not know it was like a virtual reality thing. So I see them going down. I thought people were actually like dying. I was like, whoa, Mr. B's a homicidal maniac over here. We got a badass over here. I don't know why I'm doing this. So, but looking back at it now, it's fucking hilarious. And his expression during the entire thing is so fucking... Mr. Rowan Atkinson has some of the best comedic facial expressions ever. And that's really what makes his Mr. Bean character work, is he doesn't talk a lot, but you can see what he's feeling or what he's thinking based on his facial expressions. And that's why this movie's awesome. So, another funny-ass scene, actually, is at the very end, when I think he's in a car, and he sees a biker, and he waves to him, and the biker flicks him off. Sorry guys, that was my phone. And he flicks him off. And Mr. Bean's like this. He's confused, because he doesn't know what the middle finger is, even though they have it in England, but I don't know. I thought it was actually really funny. So, yeah, so he gets flicked off, and he thinks it's like an expression of goodbye. Like, instead of waving bye like this, waving bye for Mr. Bean is this. So, when he leaves the family in the movie, because, you know, he stays with the family for the art exposition and so on, he basically flicks all of them off, and that's his last goodbye to the family. Which is kind of funny, because the family were kind of dicks to him for most of the movie, so with him flicking them off, even though he's supposed to get along with the family in the end, it's still really funny. So yeah, there's nothing much else to say about the first Bean movie, especially since I'm trying to get 4 movies into one video. So, and you saw my Punisher one, that was 45 minutes for 2 movies, so I'm going to keep each one a little bit shorter. So yeah, Bean, the first movie, I liked it. It worked because Rowan Atkinson works as Mr. Bean. That's it. Mr. Bean, or you know what? Let's do them in chronological order, okay? Let's talk about Johnny English next. Johnny English came out in 2003, I think, and critics really hated this film. They did not find it funny. Obviously, Johnny English is about a bumbling British agent who is trying to stop a crazy Frenchman from becoming King of England. That's basically the premise of the movie. And critics hated it. It was supposed to be a Bond parody, and people just didn't find it funny at all. So yeah, I love this movie. Again, I mean, okay. Before I say what I loved about this movie, should be kind of obvious by this point. The story's stupid. The story is very dumb. It doesn't make any sense. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I know the story's stupid. They know the story's stupid. This movie exists So Rowan Atkinson can act like a bumbling idiot and he's really good at doing it. So let's do another movie. So Johnny English, he acts like a bumbling idiot, and it is funny. You know, honestly, I don't know. I feel like Rowan Atkinson's humor is selective. Some people love it, and if those people love his humor, then they will enjoy his movies. If people find it grating or annoying, they won't like his movies. I, for one, love his humor. I think he is fucking hilarious. I enjoy all of his movies. Spoiler alert for the next two movies coming up. But yeah, I thought there were it, it was a bit more childish because there were poop and fart jokes and all that. But again, Rowan Atkinson, man, fucking great comedian. He made that movie work. Also, I did like his partner, Buff, in it. I thought he was actually really funny. And I know him and Rowan Atkinson have worked in the past before on projects. So, they had really good chemistry. But it's just a funny movie, man. What jokes specifically do I like in that movie? There's a few really notable ones. Um, the first one that just springs to mind, because there's a lot of them that are funny to me. I'm just trying to get like the big ones that I'm like, it's fucking hilarious. There's one when him and Buff fall into a pit and it's pitch black. And the funny thing about Johnny English is he thinks he knows it all, even though he's kind of an idiot. So he's like, it may be pitch black, but we can still see. And Buff is like, well, how, sir? Or no, he's like, the something monks have developed a thing of whistling where we can use ultrasonic or something. And the way he's saying it, oh my god, I laugh every single time. His delivery on that line, if anybody else said it, it probably wouldn't be funny, but the way he says it, the way Rowan Atkinson says that line, makes it fucking hilarious to me. And I love. I'm sorry. I know I'm like gushing and fanboying right now. It's a great movie. It really is. Another funny scene would be when uh, when in the, I'm trying to get this right. I don't remember what building it was. I know I like butcher British like buildings and stuff. I don't really know that. But in the very first scene, actually, or not the very first scene, in the title sequence, when Man of All Seasons is playing, he's trying to look for his Pegasus's room, with Pegasus is like the man in charge. So he's looking for his room in this really big building. And during the song, you see him like walking around the building, and he has no idea where it is. Not one shred of dialogue is spoken because the song is playing. But based on his facial expressions, you can tell it's like, is this the right floor? No, I have to go back down. Is this the right room? No, it's not. He is lost in the building, and oh my god, not only is this funny, it's relatable, because whenever I go to like a job interview or something, it just happened actually like a few days ago. I was in the building, and I'm just like looking around like, the hell am I supposed to go? So you just end up walking around trying to find it. I thought that was fucking hilarious. It's a great moment without a shred of dialogue, excluding the song. So that is Johnny English really quickly. Terrific movie. If you're a Rowan Atkinson fan, you owe yourself to watch it. So after Johnny English, Rowan was kind of AFK for a little bit. I wasn't expecting another Bean movie. Lo and behold, in 2007 he made one. And it's funny. It's funny for the same reasons as the other ones, because okay. Here's the thing about Rowan Atkinson that, again, people may not like. He does stick to the same shtick a lot for his like character roles. Because it's Mr. Bean. We all know what to expect, and maybe some people were getting a little tired of it. And that's maybe why the critics didn't like the movie so much. For me, it never gets old. That's why I enjoyed it. So, Mr. Bean's Holiday is about Mr. Bean taking a trip to the French Riviera, and he basically kidnaps one of the Cannes Film Festival's son, and he's trying to return them, and a bunch of antics ensue. And I will give this movie points. I don't give points normally, but I will this time. My boy, Willem fucking Dafoe was in this movie. God bless you, Willem Dafoe. I love you. I mean, fucking, he was in Spider-Man 3 the same year. It's a great year for Willem Dafoe, even though both of those movies were critically panned. I just give him credit. It was awesome seeing him. I mean, there was one scene, Willem Dafoe plays a director, and he was directing a commercial, and there's one line, or one part, where Mr. Bean messes with one of the devices that triggers an explosion for the commercial, and it doesn't explode. And Willem Dafoe is like, "Where is my explosion? Where's my explosion?" And all I'm thinking is like, just get one of your pumpkin bombs, dude. You can make explosions. I've seen you do it plenty of times. So, Mr. Bean's Holiday. Funny movie. I guess with all these movies right now, I'm just going to talk about some of my favorite scenes in it. One of the scenes I really, really like is the scene when he's eating at the restaurant. Because, again, similar experience. If I eat, like, exotic or unfamiliar cuisine, I'm like, how the fuck do I eat this? And I look like an idiot doing it. And just the way he was eating it, he ate the whole lobster or something, or shrimp or whatever, and he just ate the entire thing with, like, its shell and everything. That was funny. And when he was forced to eat the oysters, basically, because he didn't want to look like a dick. That one reminded me of one of the episodes. I think that's what they were trying to go with, although he acted like he never ate an oyster before. But yeah, so he ate one of the oysters, hated it, but didn't want to look like a dick, so what does he do? He fakes to eat all the oysters and just dumps it in his napkin, which he has, like, on his neck and going down, and then he puts all the oysters and whatnot into this woman's purse. Mr. Bean's kind of a dick, to be honest. Again, some people will not find that funny. I think it's funny. And again, large part of why this movie works is just Rowan Atkinson's portrayal of Mr. Bean. I mean, this came out in 2007, so he's been playing Bean for about roughly 20 years, probably a little under that. But he still had it in that movie, man. He really did. He was on top of it, and it was great seeing him after 10 years. Okay, so the final movie, Johnny English Reborn, came out in 2012. I went to go see this day one because it's been a while since I saw it, I think it was like 5 years or so. So yeah, I was hyped for this movie. I went to go see it. Like I said before, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. This one, though, the other three films I just talked about played out like comedies. Johnny English Reborn plays out more kind of like an action movie, actually. It does. There's a lot of action, and a lot of it works. The action is not actually play on words that bad. It's actually pretty good. And there seems to be a less emphasis on comedy, but the jokes that the movie does have in it are really fucking hilarious. Okay, so what's Johnny English Reborn about? It's about the return of Johnny English, and he is hunting down a terroristic organization that is planning to kill the Chinese premier. That's basically what it is. And then they believe that there's a mole in their organization, and that mole actually turns out to be the dude who played Jigsaw from Punisher Warzone. So, again, more action heavy than the first movie, and certainly the Bean movies. And again, critics just said it wasn't funny. There was better Bond parodies at this point. And honestly, if you like the first Johnny English, if you like the Bean movies and all that, you're gonna like this movie. If you don't, let me know, because I'm curious to see what you think. But again, the story is better than the first Johnny English movie. It is. And honestly, the side character wasn't as good as Buff, I thought. He's not bad. I think his name was Tucker. He was a much younger person, less experienced. I think this was like his first mission, and I thought he was likable. You know, he really wanted to, make his first big case. He was really loyal, but I thought Buff was just funnier. So yeah, the 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 best the best scene in this movie, in my opinion, or the best joke, is really, it's kind of a ripoff from the Austin Powers movies, but I just think because Rowan Atkinson did it, it was funnier. Okay, so Pegasus's mom is in this movie, and it's a different person now. And he goes over to their house, and he sees who he believes is an assassin because it kind of looks like her from the back. He encountered an assassin earlier in the movie, so when he goes over Pegasus's mom's house, he thinks he sees her. So he attacks her, and the fucking thing he says is, "You murderous crone!" And he fucking tackles her, starts beating the shit out of her. Honestly, the line, "You murderous crone," is the fucking funniest line in any of these 4 movies I just talked about. I fucking love. I say that every single fucking time I can when I'm playing my PS4 or a game. I love that line. It is so fucking funny. "You murderous crone." Who says that? Who says, "You murderous crone"? God, I love that line. And another funny part is when they're on the plane and there's a air attendant who wants to take Johnny English's briefcase, and in the briefcase is a weapon that they just seized from the other organization, and the air attendant is obviously, works for that organization, but Johnny English thinks that it's actually just a regular flight attendant. But Buff is like, "Sir, I don't think he's he's a Susan." And Johnny English is like, "Tucker, you're not a linguist either. It's not Susan, it's Shushan. Thank you, Shushan." Oh god, that's so fucking funny to me. I don't know why. Again, I know people really hate these films, but I think it's fucking hilarious. And yeah, I rambled long enough. There's not really... The one thing about comedies is when we all know that their plots, for the most part, aren't that great, so it's really how good the comedy is, but the only way you can actually really grasp how good the comedy is if you watch it yourself, not just, listening to some moron, dumbass, idiot, buffoon talk about it for like 23 minutes. I'm not a buffoon. So yeah, I would say give these movies a chance. I believe they are all on Blu-ray, the Blu-ray format. Johnny English Reborn, I know for a fact, is on Netflix right now. So go see those movies, try and have fun with them, and really just appreciate the workings of a great actor, and more importantly, a great comedian. Alright, take it easy guys, and I'll see you on the next vid.